Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Lisa, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I hadn't planned on sending you another story so soon after the video you did for me this week. Narcissistic recording, you were always the scapegoat about my 80-year-old stepmother, Wiggy Miss Piggy, and the Gag Man. The Gag Man is the name I now give my absent father who left England. Who left England to live in the U.S. when I was 5 years old, over 50 years ago. But I heard about Charlene being so poorly and wanted to make a contribution with a follow-up story. You have helped me so much, and I wanted to help you too, and I appreciate it, Lisa. I really do, and everybody. We both do. Trust me. Coincidentally, I received an email from the Gag Man that arrived just a couple of days after sending you the recording. So here's just a very brief backstory for those who haven't heard the previous 3 videos, although I would really recommend that your subscribers listen to the recording on this week's video for some classic narcissism and classic Ollie takedown. Wiggy has made it impossible for me to spend time with the Gag Man since they met 45 years ago. I have seen him on average about once every 5 years for just a few days and never on my own. I have only maintained contact by messaging Miss Piggy's huge, hungry ego. It was a price I was prepared to pay to see the Gag Man. She has always monitored my emails, and I couldn't even have a Skype call unless she was sitting next to him. When he got pneumonia and nearly died in 2010, I flew out to be by his bedside, but even then she wouldn't leave me alone with him. Wiggy and the Gag Man have had huge arguments, so we moved into the attic, and then he left her last year on my birthday, coincidentally. I felt that at last we were able to get to know each other without her supervision. However, within just a few weeks, I started to feel that he was taking advantage of me financially. It was not my idea that he left his wife, but I was concerned about his welfare and kept an eye on him. He left home with 10,000, but soon ran out as he spent it on ridiculous things. Within no time, I had given thousands to have his teeth fixed, new hearing aids, paid for a new phone, etc., etc. In fact, he became a bottomless pit and never said thank you. Listeners should remember that this is an absent father who did not financially support his children, but left and lived in the lap of luxury in the U.S. while we struggled back in England. Listeners should also remember that I did not spend time alone with the Gag Man and that Wiggly dominated all his conversations. Plus, the Gag Man had a career on the stage, so it has been difficult to know who he really was. Without Wiggy around, it came as a surprise to me that he demands so much attention every day. He expected me to drop everything for him, but never even asked how I was on any of our calls. He didn't seem to care about me at all. In the 7 months we were apart, the Gag Man never considered the effect of Wiggy's abuse and threats to my livelihood or how this was impacting on my life. I had dozens of nasty, abusive, threatening emails from her flying monkeys, including regular Facebook posts ridiculing me and blaming me for everything. I didn't want to believe it, but it was staring me in the face. I was beginning to wonder if my dad was a covert narcissist that had been hiding behind Wiggy's overt narcissism all along. Then it came as a shock when the Gag Man moved back into the marital home with Wiggy Miss Piggy a few months ago. He said he would never go back to her, but when I started to pull back financially, he reconsidered his options. This is despite the fact that he discovered that she had applied to the courts to have him involuntarily assessed for dementia and had been threatening to kill him before he left. He also discovered that she had been married not once but twice before, and many other interesting facts that came to light during their separation. Not forgetting the dreadful abuse I endured too, I couldn't imagine that he would return to that same toxic environment, toxic, dangerous situation. Well, what I think here is your father is just an old gigolo. He's just an old gigolo. So, thinking that, no, we know Piggy, we know Miss Piggy is an old whore, okay, who probably married for money and all, but then your father glommed onto her for money, and then he gloms onto you for money. So, so Piggy, I think, is making a connection with the finances and the money because you were financially supporting him, and maybe she was. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where the whole sexual thing comes, because she can't separate the two. And I have a sneaking suspicion your father plays into the dementia. He's not. He doesn't have the dementia he says he does. It's all for sympathy, so he can get that money. You would know better than I would, but this is what it kind of sounds like. Since his return, I was informed by Wiggy that I was not allowed to have any contact with him. Then in May, Wiggy and the gag man sent me an email laying down the terms and conditions under which I have to access him. It was Wiggy's victory dance and her rubbing it in my face that she had won some kind of perceived competition for the gag man's affections. However, Wiggy's story that I have a daddy complex is far from the truth. I simply tried to be a good daughter, even though the gag man has fallen far short of what a good father should be. At the very least, a dad should care about his daughter's welfare. I've now been scapegoated as the one that caused the marital breakdown. Wiggy says she will publish a book exposing a scandal about me based on ridiculous lies, such as me having sex with my father and brainwashing him to leave his wife. So here's the email I received from the gag man last week. Listeners should remember that I have not had an email from him directly since April, just before he returned the Wiggy. Although he has been freely emailing other members of the family, I have only received one email in May written by Wiggy, and as the gag man says in his email below, was not too onerous, for fuck's sake. Yeah, man, I really think she connects money with sex, that you're giving him money because he's somehow, I'm telling you, I think that's what motivates her in her mind. And just to back up what I said about the dementia, if he has so much dementia at 82 years old, he's awfully good with computers and email, isn't he? Doesn't sound like something with somebody with dementia would do with too much ease, Lisa. I think your father is just nothing more than a narcissistic gigolo. And he might have been trying to almost, emotionally pimp out his daughter. So on to the email. Hi, Lisa. It may have been the poor state of my laptop that failed to send my last two emails to you, or you simply chose to ignore them, especially the one Wiggy constructed back in May that tends to read like an ultimatum, and with which I agreed, was not onerous. Wanting to stop the anger generated by the separation that sprang from the lack of understanding between Wiggy and I. What a crock of shit. So wait a minute, if this is well constructed, if she had to type the other one because he just agreed with it, how did he type this one so well constructed? It's either her typing them all or he's completely full of shit. The terms of her letter may not entirely suit you, but my second letter, which I thought would get a reply, gave the technical reasons I did not connect with you. Over the months, Lenore thinks you've cut me off, but that's unthinkable. After your generosity and all the troubles that have plagued us, they should have brought the realization that we can't have enough support from our blood kin. He's looking for money. He's looking for money again. He's looking. He can't deal with it now. He's looking again. As usual, I'm never at a loss for reasons. The latest is the consideration of Wiggy's astrological fixed Scorpio factor, which demands that her affections, or lack of them, be returned in full. It also manifests in the jealous anger that she subjected us both for just being a family. So it's because she's a Scorpio. This is fucking insane. As mutable signs, we can both overlook the vicissitudes of our existence if there's some affection in a relationship. You're telling me a man with dementia wrote this? Happily, as I stated in my last email, Wiggy recognized that she needs me for the duration and vice versa. I have nowhere else I want to go, so there was actually a benefit in all the anger we expressed. Nowadays, we're at loss to know what it was we were argued about. Lisa remembers, fuckhead. What a gaslighting fog he's trying to, like, we don't even remember anymore. We don't? I remember, cocksucker. And I'm sure you remember too. And why don't you just go back and read the other emails if you don't remember? They're all in writing, so what do you mean you don't remember? It's all written down. What a clown. This is desperation, Lisa. She's still writing her book about, here's the veiled threat. Here's the gaslighting. Okay. It starts off with the poor state of his laptop. Well, you must be, it didn't go out because you just wouldn't want to not answer me. To him blaming it on her being a score, to her saying you've been generous and bringing up our blood and kin shit, to her blaming it to her being on a Scorpio. Okay. Now he can't even remember what they're arguing about. Okay. Now here comes the veiled threat that she's still writing the book about you. But I think she's getting in a mood to call it off now that she's happily remarried as of last Saturday on your birthday, which I chose because it was also the day I left her last year. Wow. Wow, what a gaslighting fuckface statement. So now not only is a threat there, I remarried her on her birthday. So there's the fucking stab. Okay? Oh, Jesus Christ. What a jerk off. She still resents my use of my iPad, so I tread carefully as not to spoil the piece. It's an inconvenience, but very practical from my perspective. So now he's still the victim, too. So now he's also still the victim of her. Make up your mind, motherfucker. Which is it? Which tactic is this guy want to have? Which one? Because he's throwing them all out there. It's why I'm only now sending belated greetings on your birthday. A gift will arrive ASAP. No, you were getting married on her birthday, stupid. Remember, to try to fuck with her head and make her feel bad, and now you're going to send her a belated gift. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know how close you are to the Tims, but I would friggin' punt that thing on cam right into the goddamn river. Holy shit. This is what I think. This is what I think of your gift. You have a yard, you have a barbecue, you have a pit, light that motherfucker on fire and record it. Burn it. Burn it. I'm okay to FaceTime other family because Wiggy thinks they're less of a threat to her tranquility. Having to connect with you in an atmosphere of mistrust is not good, but I'm confident it will change as she gains confidence in me. We can at least use messaging until then. No, we can't. No, we can't. So now he's just taking a risk in talking to you. The little, get out of my face. We can at least, no, I don't want to talk to you. I wonder what he wants to message you about, Lisa. I wonder what he could be messaging you about. Why is it okay to... Oh, jeez. So if you can follow, the above regarding possible reconciliation, we could all go back to friendlier days we were before. Unscorpionic rebels decided to dump the problems of the past. Unscorpionic rebels? You should be committed just for writing that. You're obviously insane. You're not demented, but you're insane. The loss of me shook Wiggy to her foundations, and her clearly sincere, if previously punitive efforts to remain married to me. I do not wish to inflict further pain. I can sense your confusion over my change of MO, but it's best for all concerned. If you cannot meet Wiggy's needs as she stated them, I understand no matter what. You will always be my little Lisa. Love you, Dad. Go eat a bag of dicks, Dad. Go eat a bag of dicks. If you cannot meet Wiggy's needs, but remember, she's still writing that book, but she might be called off against it. Oh, God. It ended with my little Lisa. Where were you when you absconded to America at the age of 5, stupid? It's possible that the gag man sent this under Wiggy's radar. My reply is below and was sent within hours of receiving the above. How dare you reinvent history and make me the one responsible for your marital problems and ill health when all I did was support you as any good daughter would? How dare you allow me to be abused by your wife and daughter and allow me and throw me under the bus when you know everything they say about me is lies? How dare you expect me to come back into your life so you can continue to abuse me and use me in your alternative reality of a world? If you want to know the reason why I will not be contacting you again, it has nothing to do with your wife. She's beneath contempt. Just look in the mirror. You are the only one that matters, and all your decisions in life are based on your needs and wants. You have never put your big boy pants on and stopped the abuse of me, which is still continuing. Instead, you expect me to accept it. At least your wife never pretended to care about me. You are far worse. You played me and everyone else in your little drama. Only a fool would continue with this relationship, and contrary to what you might all think, I am no fool. I'm not your little Lisa either. The description of you willingly accepted these days is fat fucking cunt pig daughter. And that's what she called her, fat fucking cunt pig daughter. Ali, I know my email response sounds harsh that I broke no contact, but it was so angry that he overtly said that either I accept his terms and conditions or it's bye-bye. I expect my response will cause massive narcissistic injury and that he won't reply. I also wonder whether he will show it to Wiggy. If he does, then I expect that Wiggy will be happier and no longer see me as a threat. I expect she will not let anyone see my email as it does not fit her stupid story about me. One of the things I learned from listening to your responses to people's stories is how to express my anger after being abused. I was so angry that he assumed any lack of response would be due to Wiggy's demands to supervise me. I wanted him to know that he is the real reason. Why put any effort in since he clearly couldn't care less about me? I didn't deserve this treatment. I hope they both stay away from me now. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Thanks, Ollie. I hope Charlene gets her teeth sorted out soon. Best, Lisa. And she will. Thanks in part to you, Lisa. Keep in mind, what is his motive of contacting you? What's his motive? And that's how you'll know whether he's going to continue or not. Look, he's contacting you because he's miserable again, but he don't want to admit it. So that's what all that gaslighting narcissistic letter was about. Okay? He wants you back under his terms of control again. So, do I think he will show it to her? No, because I think he emailed you because he's so miserable and he's looking for another way out again. But he's such a narcissistic bitch con, he can never allocute and admit what he did. So, yeah. No, I don't think he's going to show her because it's not really going to benefit her. You understand? Because you have to consider the motive of his contacting you. So the second part of the question, he'll take another run at this. Expect another run and don't reply to it. He's not done because he wants something. And they never quit when they want something. Always consider the motive when the narcissist contacts you during no contact. What's the motive? And you know what your father's motive is. You know it. So, again, Lisa, thank you for all your support and everything you've done for me. And Charlene, I really appreciate it. I hope that I hope this helps. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with my email and my PayPal link in the description box. And remember, when you do email me your story, please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.